crafty friends, it's Joy here for Honeybee Stamps, and today I created a beautiful card with a matching felt ornament using the In Stitches Snowflakes or Snowflake die. So here is my felt. I have two of the back solid pieces and one that I'm calling the front more intricate piece. And I'm doing two of the back solid pieces because I do want to stuff this a little bit. And if you only use the front piece, you're not going to be able to stuff it. Now I'm going to do a really super easy stitching of this all the way around the perimeter. But if you go onto Honeybee Stamps website and look at this die, it'll show you a different way to stitch it as well. But I wanted to keep this really simple, especially for people that maybe don't stitch, that you could just do this easily. Not that the other is hard, but this is quick. This was really, really fast. So I have a long piece of floss. I'm using all 6 pieces of floss. And I have a bigger needle, but these all have stitched holes, which is fantastic. And I am just going to start on the inside of the 2 red pieces, not going through the first or through the back red piece. I'm going through the center because I need to hide my knot. And then I'm just going to go up and down each hole. And then once I come back, we're going to stuff it. And then I'm going to go around again and fill in the rest of the holes. This is such a beautiful die. Like I said, I'm going to have a matching card with this, and you can also stitch on the paper. Now on my card, I did not do stitching on the paper because I also wanted to show that even without the stitching, it looks beautiful. To me, it kind of looks like lace, which I think is stunning. So I'm just going to go up and back through these. I did try to pop out the holes on the front white piece of felt. I wasn't really worried about the back piece because I could see that, but I wanted to be able to see on the front white piece at least one part where the holes were because they are in different little areas. Of course, I'm using red floss, which I think is pretty against the white felt. And I actually will say the floss, the DMC floss that I used was 816, and this felt, I don't have the color names, but I got it from the Felt Pod on Etsy. Okay, so now I've come back. I've left a little spot. I haven't gone completely where I've started. I left a little opening, and I'm just getting some fiber fill to put inside, and I'm just kind of lofting it in my hands, and I'm just going to start with a little tiny bit. I am not personally worried about getting it in each arm of the snowflake. I'm just trying to fill up the center, which I think turned out really, really cute. And you want to be careful. You know, you could leave a bigger hole than this, but felt will tear. And so you do want to be careful when you're stitching and also when you're stuffing. But I'm just kind of working it around in that center part, kind of a circle of the snowflake, and just taking little pieces at a time. And then once I get that where I want to get that, I'm going to continue stitching that closed. And once I meet where I start, then I'm going to fill in the areas that I didn't stitch. So the little open areas I'm going to fill in. And I think we've got a good little stuffing in there. So let's work all the way around. I'm not going to show every bit of it because it's just the same up and down. But again, making sure I'm getting that closed. And if you didn't want to stuff it, even with the 3 layers of felt would be cute too. Like if you wanted to put it maybe on a card, you could do that and maybe don't stuff it, just use the 3 layers of felt, and that would be, you know, a good size ornament as well. But I do like mine a little stuffed. Okay, so now I'm back where I started, and I'm going to fill in the areas that does not have a stitch. So I'm just going to go all the way back around, and once I meet where I started, then I can tie it off in a little knot. And I'm going to speed that up here in just a little bit. And I'm going to go inside the 2 red pieces for my knot. So let's just continue going. Like I said, this really was a quick stitch. I love stitching felt. It's super duper relaxing. Okay, so I'm going through, I'm going to come up, I'm going to go all the way through where I met, and then I'm going to come up the back through the back piece of felt to that, so in between the 2 red pieces of felt. So I'm there, and I'm going to put my needle through and tie a knot, and I'm going to do that one more time, and then I can just trim that excess thread off of. Now, I totally forgot to add my string inside of this because I was just having fun stitching, but I have a solution for that. I'm going to use some thread, the same thread, and just go through one of those holes and use that. I'm going to add some little bells that I had in my stash, but normally where I started to stitch, I would have put my twine or ribbon or whatever in there and then kind of stitched around it. That's what I would have done. And I just totally forgot because honestly, I was having such a good time stitching. But this works as well too. You could put beads on this. I decided just to put some little bells, keeping it super simple, but you could put some nice wood beads on this. I'm going to tie a knot at the top. I do end up tying a knot down closer to the bells so they don't slide, but I did that off camera. How cute is that? Okay, let's get to our card. Isn't that cute? I love it. So for the card, I'm using 2 of these. I have die cut from red and white, and I'm going to alternate. I am using the Merry Moments paper, and I die cut that from the Scalloped A2 card frames dies, which I think is a fantastic die to have in your stash if you don't have it. I like to use it a lot. I love a scalloped edge, and it has multiple sizes, so it's perfect. So here's where I'm not going to sew these. I'm not going to stitch these. But I am going to glue them. I'm going to keep them super simple, but don't they kind of look like lace? Aren't they stunning? And this background paper is just this soft blue with a bunch of snowflakes on it. So this is a really super simple card to put together. I'm going to use some of that same floss as my hanger. You could also use gold floss, but I really kind of wanted it to match the ornament. So you could give this to somebody for Christmas, a little ornament gift, or you could put this on their gift bag if you have another gift for them with the matching card. You could stitch these ornaments so quickly sitting on your couch, watching your favorite show, whatever it is you're doing. Super relaxing and super, super easy. Again, look at their website and you can stitch it in a different way if you wanted. I have some foam adhesive, I have tape runner and some liquid glue where I put my floss because I really want that to stay. On my white snowflake, I'm using a 1 millimeter, and on my red snowflake, I'm using a 2 millimeter foam adhesive. I'm going to line those up. And then on the back of my cardstock, I'm going to do some tape runner again just to stick my floss down so it doesn't move. And I'm going to add 1 millimeter foam adhesive behind that along with a little bit of liquid glue just to hold it in place so when it dries, it's just not going to let go. It's not going to go anywhere. I have a white A2 size card base. And I think my glue is running out. So I just grabbed another glue really quick, just putting some of that on there so when it dries, we are golden. Nothing's going to come loose. And then for my sentiment, I am using the Warm Holiday Wishes. I love just the classic Merry Christmas sentiment, and I'm doing it in black ink on white cardstock, and I will use the coordinating die to die cut out that sentiment. And I'm going to add some foam adhesive behind that, 2 millimeter, and then I'm going to place that right above my snowflakes. And then I want to finish off with the Merry Moments gem stickers. I put a red one in the center of the white and a white one in the center of the red, and then I'm using the red ones, and they have like this iridescence to it, so they kind of change color, which is really pretty. But I'm going to put a few of those all over the background. And then this is done. Let's take a look at everything up close. Number one, I love snowflakes, and I think the snowflake design is gorgeous. Even without the stitching, you absolutely can get away with not stitching it. It just looks so lacy. And then of course our cute little felt ornament that we made, stitching it, it's darling. I think it's so pretty. I love these dies. Okay guys, thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate you watching. I hope you feel inspired by this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you like what you've seen, please subscribe to Honeybee Stamps YouTube channel. Bye.